stuck picking that very first investing app. You've ever stared at your phone just completely overwhelmed by all the choices? Well, if that's you, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. I want to start with a number, and it's a big one. $3.3 trillion. That is the insane amount of money Americans have just sitting in low-interest savings accounts, earning basically nothing. So what's the deal? Why is all that cash just sitting on the sidelines, literally losing its value to inflation every single year? The data suggests it's not because people don't want to invest. Nope, it's something else holding them back. The real culprit here is what they call analysis paralysis. There are so many options, so much noise, that the fear of picking the wrong one just freezes you in your tracks, and you end up doing nothing. So today, we're going to fix that. We are going to break that paralysis for good. But, to figure out the right path forward, we kind of have to understand how the map got so complicated to begin with. So let's do a quick history lesson on how we ended up here. So think back to, say, 2010. Investing was kind of for the old guard, right? You had these high fees, you needed thousands just to start, and the websites looked like you needed a pilot's license to operate them. Then, boom, 2013 happens. Robinhood comes along and just blows the doors off the whole thing with zero commission trading right on your phone. But that disruption, well, it led us right to today's problem, the paradox of choice, with dozens and dozens of apps all fighting for a spot on your home screen. Okay, to make sense of this whole mess, you can basically group all these apps into 5 main flavors. You've got your big traditional brokerages, then there are the slick mobile-first platforms made for trading on the go. You've got robo-advisors that are totally hands-off, you just set it and forget it. Then you have the educational apps that try to teach you as you invest. And finally, the all-in-one ecosystem platforms that want to be your bank, your broker, your everything. Now, this next part is super, super important. A lot of these apps scream from the rooftops that they're free. But listen, free almost never means it costs you nothing. You just have to know where the real price tag is hidden. And just look at how these hidden costs can stack up. Say you invest $5,000. With Acorn's subscription, that's $36 a year out of your pocket. Betterment's percentage fee is about $14. But a zero-cost index fund at a place like Fidelity? $1.50. See? The platform you choose makes a huge difference to your bottom line. So you're probably asking, well, how do the free apps make money then? One of the biggest ways is something called Payment for Order Flow, or PFOF. All it really means is that your broker, the app, gets paid a tiny fraction of a cent for sending your trade to a specific big-time trading firm. Now, it's a little controversial, but the bottom line is it's the business model that makes free trading possible for a lot of these apps. Okay, so instead of drowning in spreadsheets comparing a million features and fee structures, we're going to flip this whole thing on its head. The goal isn't to find the single best app in the world. It's to find the best app for you, for your personality. So, seriously, let's just push all that noise aside, forget the comparison charts. We're going to answer one single question to cut through it all. Who are you as an investor? Figuring out your archetype, that's the shortcut to making a great choice. Okay, first up, see if this sounds like you. Are you the overwhelmed beginner? You know you should be investing, but honestly, it all seems so complicated and you're terrified of making a big mistake. You just want something to handle it all for you. If you're nodding your head right now, a robo-advisor like Betterment is probably your perfect fit. It does all the heavy lifting. Or maybe you're the efficiency optimizer. You've got the basics down. Your number one goal, above everything else, is to keep your costs as close to zero as humanly possible for the long run. If that's you, the answer is pretty clear. A traditional brokerage like Fidelity, with their zero-fee index funds, is exactly what you're looking for. And finally, our third archetype, the simplicity seeker. You've already done the research. You know what you want to buy. You don't need handholding. You just want the absolute slickest, easiest, most friction-free way to buy it. In that case, an app like Robinhood, which is built from the ground up for a clean user experience, is going to be your best friend. All right, now we need to talk about what is, without a doubt, the most important point of this entire conversation. We've obsessed over fees, we've obsessed over features, but the single biggest cost in investing, it's not on any app's website. It's the cost of doing nothing. It's the cost of waiting. There's this great saying, imperfect action beats perfect inaction. And let me tell you, nowhere is that more true than with investing. Choosing a good enough platform and starting today is infinitely better than waiting months or years to find the perfect one. And the numbers prove it in a huge way.
So check this out. Let's run a scenario. If you start investing today, even on a pretty good platform that maybe has some fees, you could end up with around $738,000 after 30 years. But what if you wait just 2 years trying to find that perfect platform? You end up with $645,000. That's a $93,000 difference.
Let that sink in. The $93,000 you lost by waiting for 2 years, that's 4 times more money than the total amount of fees you would have paid on that imperfect platform in the first place. The cost of waiting completely dwarfs all the other little costs we get so hung up on.
Here's the bottom line. You can optimize your fees later. You can change your strategy. You can even switch platforms if you want to. But the one thing you can never, ever get back is lost time. That's the one cost that's gone forever. So the only real question left is, what's your move going to be?